come out, widen it a little bit. Woo!
Some of the trails aren't the easiest.
Turn wide out here. Oh yeah, wide out there is the way.
There has to be that progressive mark where you can overcome something that you can't do.
Oh, man, yeah.
Intro. So why are we here today? Well, recently in the last couple months, maybe like 6 months or something, they just released the expansion trails to everyone, and they actually had an opening day for that. I wish I would have came out for it. I just didn't have the opportunity to do that for my schedule. So I was reluctant to come out, and I had a reason for that. I'd been here before for the mountain bike trails on the original part, or what's over there by the highway, and I've ridden those. They're just okay. I mean, they're very beginner like flow trails, or just kind of yeah, they're just over there. Anyway, so they opened up the expansion. I really wasn't sure what to make of it. I didn't have too much following for it, so I didn't have that knowledge, but I had a few friends come out, or a few friends tell me, yeah, you should definitely ride it. It's definitely worth checking out. It's a lot of fun. And I kind of just blew it off like, okay, it's just a bunch of talk. They're just excited about new trails. But the hype is real, yeah. I rode it yesterday for the very first time. A lot of fun. I was very, very surprised because there are some features on some of the trails which are difficult. I was kind of going through the trails for the first time and doing some loops and stuff like that, and I was like, well, what the heck, you know, like this doesn't flow well. But I don't want everything to be easy. I don't want to be able to do everything on the trail. You know, there has to be that progressive mark where you can overcome something that you can't do. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a miniature bike park, but just in that category of flow trail. You know, they're all machine cut for the expansion, and it's really, really flowy, really smooth. So I'm going to go out today and give you guys a preview of the trails, and we'll get out there and see how we do. Cool thing about it is right now, at least, there's not, as far as I can tell, there's not any Strava segments for the jump trails, which actually is a good thing because I find myself racing down segments a lot more than I'd like to, instead of just kind of having fun. So I find myself getting caught up in the time clock and trying to race it. But the flow trails and the downhill trails for jumps are just so fun. It's just like, take your time and just enjoy them. It's not like you have to race jump everything. You can kind of like just boost the moons, and some of the lips, they have alternative lips too, which is really nice to see. A lot of places that I ride now are kind of doing that, so I'm glad they did it here as well. Some of the trails aren't the easiest, so for jumping, but there's definitely a good progression here, and very happy that Cora came together and built this stuff.
Do it, so. Oh, it's so scary. Bad line. Try to clean it up a little bit, but already off to a terrible start. So easy to ride the bricks. This is where you have to keep your legs. Oh, I got nothing. Dude, raw gear. Oh. Okay. And this segment's like right here. Sucks. Oh, dude. Woo! Alright, we're up at the top. I believe this is trail number 2. And this is a good warm-up trail. Kind of helps you on turning. As far as I remember, there's not any jumps. It's just berms. So if you're familiar with riding Pig's Tail at Davoo, it's like a really cool version of that, but just berm. So good warm up to work on turning. Come upon the berm, ride it in, let the berm support you. Nice and easy. Give you some experience to lay the bike over. We're gonna walk down just a little bit and look at the trail. This is where I'm having most of my difficulty as far as keeping the speed for the trail. And this is where, you know, sometimes you're not doing something you right or the way it looks like it should be done. It doesn't hurt to come out and walk and take a look and get close up to the feature. So this one is where I'm like really tucking into the bike and taking this inside line and then having a hard time clearing that jump. So if I can maybe come out, widen it a little bit, or maybe go, well, yeah, I think I need to come into the middle of the berm around here and then ride it out a little wider in toward the jump, because I'm cutting over to where the major traffic is here. And if I can come over here on this side, then I can carry more speed in that berm, and then should set me up to go off the jump like right here, because that is like the major one. And then the one after it, again, it's not really that long. It's probably hard to see on GoPro here, but coming out of that turn, it's just all about turns. I mean, these are really good berms for the area, and they're like bike park styles, so it's not like you get to ride these every day. And since this trail is fairly newer, it's going to take riders that aren't good in these type of environments. It's more time to adapt to that. And I think, you know, once give it some time, it's going to be really good. Definitely going to make everybody that wants to keep with it and try at it better riders. Maybe just a little less entry speed and off the brakes. Make the turn wide out here. Oh yeah, wide out there is the way. Cleared it, pedaled. This one, pedal out, yeah. Just a little bit of hang up. That one can't. Nope. All right. Yeah, so unfortunately, there's about 2 or 3 jumps in there. I think 2 case-ups and 1 just like don't feel comfortable trying to pump for it. But that's an improvement. I mean, it's like 3 times down, same trail back to back, and it was way better than the very first attempt. So just things I got to work on.
Anyway, this is gonna be trail 2 or 3. So we'll drop into this now, and this is a pretty fun trail. Again, it's like the other one, just a little longer. And man, these berms, I've never seen anything like them except for North Carolina maybe, or like just bike parks. Woo! Light on the brakes. Yep, there we go. Oh man, so good. This right here is where you got to keep your speed. These last two are really hard. Yeah. See, woo, difficult. And you just work your way out to the end. Here we are at the third switch back up from this other jump line here. And what I see a lot of, and what I kind of do myself, is I come up here, ride the berm real high, and then try to cut in. But when I do that, it puts me low in the berm, and then I'm like squashed so much into the bike, I can't come up out of the bike and get on the pedals right away. So what I'm gonna do is change my entry to the berm here, and I'm gonna try to come in maybe middle or a little low, and then try to ride the berm out a little bit, stay up more in my riding position and not squashed into the bike, come up maybe over here, and then kind of use this as leverage to get me moving on the pedals. And then this is actually the hardest jump on the trail. It's pretty long, and the way it's built is pretty lippy, so it just kind of like drops off the back, which is cool. If you're really like inclined, you could probably just like pop the front and then catch the back and treat it like a roller section. But so what is done here is, this is where they had the digger come up and built the trail. So you're essentially like jumping a road, pretty much like a road gap, and it's really long. So then you've got this landing which goes back up, and it looks really intimidating when you're rolling up to it. You see this lip, and then you see the back of this landing, and you just think to yourself like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough speed to clear that. So this one I think is the jump that will catch you out the most in this entire trail system. But if you get this one, then you're all set up for the next one. And then the next one's cool because it's still a big lip, like you can really boost off of it, but then it doesn't dip down. You're not like crossing that road gap after it. Try again from the same point. I rode the berm really well, but I was in the wrong gear coming out of the berm, so it's hard to get the pedals in. Ride it high, get on the pedals. There we go. Oh, no, not it. So attempt number 3, same section. Getting better and better with each attempt, but not there yet. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Oh yeah, butter baby. Give this jump trail another attempt. Let's see if we can clean it up any, or just see how it goes. I really like the fact that these trails are showing me my riding is flawed. You know, I'm not possibly this rider I thought I was. It gives me something to work on. Nice hip. All right, this is the one. Okay. Come out of it, pedal. Oh, so close.
just off of it. Ah, best attempt. Top to bottom. Oh, this is not what I want. Woo, almost there, guys. So close. And that third switch back up, like, you don't have to crank the pedals like crazy, because all your speed's coming out of that berm right before the last two jumps. That's where you really have to put the power down, or if you can ride berms really well, you got to keep your speed in the berms. It's one of those two things. You ride the berm like a maniac, and then you can like put some moderate cranks in, or you got to put some hellacious cranks in after the berm. But wow, one day it'll all come together. But for right now, the jump trails are kicking my butt, and I'm happy about it. Oh, it's good to have a challenge. Good. All right, out of water, so I'm gonna go back to the car, see how we feel after that. Nice little hip out, opposite way for me, but all good. This climb out is pretty mellow too. It's not a crazy grade, so that's pretty sweet. And there's trails over here on this side. I've not ridden yet. It looks like a whole big loop. I'll get out there. Maybe we'll get a bite to eat at the car and then explore that side.